Hi, everyone. I'm Mara Webster with SAG-AFTRA Foundation, and thank you so much for tuning in to watch another one of our Conversations at Home videos. Before I hand over to the wonderful conversation that we have for you today, I want to remind everyone watching that the SAG-AFTRA Foundation is a nonprofit organization. We are continuing to raise funds for a COVID-19 Emergency Assistance Fund. This fund is working to support SAG-AFTRA members who are currently out of work due to all of the closed film and television productions right now. So please check out the details below this video and consider supporting if you're able to in any way. And without further ado, it is my absolute pleasure to hand over to our moderator for today's conversation, Kenneth Turan.
Hello, it's great to be here, and it's great to be here with Adam. Adam, let me start with you. Obviously, I'm not going to start with you. I'm going to finish with you. It's only the two of us. How old are you, and how long have you known you wanted to act?
I just turned 22 2 weeks ago, yeah. And I've been wanting to be an actor basically since it sounds like a cliche, but since I remember myself, my father is an actor in Israel, and he's done also some amazing works in here in the States and all over the world, with the TV show on Netflix Stiesel, if you know, or the movie The Band's Visit. That afterwards, together, me and him, we walked together on the national tour of the Broadway musical show of this film. And my mother, she's a writer. She's an amazing kids book writer. And so I grew up in this environment. I grew up surrounded by artists, actors, and et cetera, and then I went to School of Arts and High School of Arts in Tel Aviv since I was 6 years old. So yeah, so that was part of my life since I remember myself, and that's what I love and want to do. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes when a parent is an actor, they discourage their child from going into that profession. Did your father encourage you, discourage you? What did he say to you?
So yeah, I think one of the most beautiful things with my father, that he didn't push me, that he didn't, and also he didn't distance me. It was like there was this freedom that you don't have to be an actor because you are my son, and you don't have to be an actor because you are my son. Like there was freedom, there is freedom, there is space, and just doing whatever I feel to do. And even now, after I've done, acting works, I can always say, okay, I wanna be whatever, cook. I wanna do real estate, and he would love it. They would love me, and they will hug me, and they will have space for that. Yeah.
Great. How did you hear about, the performance of yours we're here to talk about is in Our Boys, in the 10-part series that in this country was on HBO. How did you hear about this? How did this, come to your notice that this thing was going to be happening?
So basically, yeah, Our Boys is an HBO show, but they casted all of the, because all of the characters, they are Palestinians and Israelis people who you might have known or know, but it's basic on an actual events, and unfortunately, of course, and they looked for they looked for an Israeli kid who looked Mizrahi, if you know. So there is the Ashkenazi Jewish stream, and the Mizrahi Jewish stream, which is basically the Jews who came from the Arab countries. So yeah, they looked for, and I mixed, I both, and I was 19, but I'm short, so I looked like 16, and yeah, and basically when my agent gave me the sides for the audition, I was like, oh my God, that looks amazing. There is no way that I'm gonna be part of it. but sure, let's do the audition. It's an amazing text, it's a very important subject, and then I just came to the audition, and after 7 months I got the final okay.
Yeah. 7 months? Wow.
Yeah, 7 months of auditioning and then meeting and then, and then, yeah, and then after those 7 months of kind of process, we started 4 months, yeah, 4 months of rehearsals.
Wow.
Um, and then we shot for 10 months. Yeah, it was a whole, it was a whole thing, yeah.
Well, for people who have not seen it, I mean, it's quite extraordinary, and your work in it is quite extraordinary.
Thank you so much.
How would you, your character's name is Avishai. How would you describe him? How did you view him? What kind of a person is he?
Yeah, so Avishai, he is, yeah, I'm going back to the audition room when I just read the description of the character, and I read he's yeshiva boy, Mizrahi yeshiva boy who's not really getting along in the yeshiva's lifestyle, and he has OCD and clinic depression and separation anxiety, and he stuttered, and finally he finds himself doing something or terrible that he never thought that he's gonna do. And so to be this, he came from very, very smart and respectful family in the Jewish Mizrahi Orthodox community, and yeah, and so you have the expectation of, okay, you're gonna be the next rabbi, the next preacher, and he couldn't, because of all of his things. He just couldn't do that, and sometimes people are taking and escapism to let's call it not positive
Yeah.
goals and results, and that's what happened with him.
What
And
attracted you to this role? What made you think, boy, if I could get this role, I would really like to do it?
so I think it's an amazing question, because in Avishai, like, for me, and I know it's a very problematic subject, but also for me, I had this stereotype about a murderer, how he looks like, how he behaves, and I think in the story, in the case of Avishai, you can see that it's all about society, and it's all about the place that you're growing up, and this system that that it's all over the world, that just like mostly, unfortunately, it's about hate and different people that they are not you, if it's here in America or or there in Israel. And my mission when I got this role, it's to show that, yeah, this hate, this forced hate is all over, and even this little shy quiet kid who barely can touch in a fly, he can do this. Oh, sorry, I'm just getting emotional.
Terrible thing. You can do a terrible.
This, yes, terrible thing. And I think that as Israeli kid, I think that Avishai can show us that it's all over, and there is nothing to do with his behavior, and there's a lot, not nothing to do with his behavior, but most of the things that we can say, like, okay, here we have something to fix or to change or to actually getting better. It's the system. It's way more here than this heart of the heart of this little boy, because maybe in another in another reality, he plays the guitar, he could be an amazing musician or painter, or I don't know, maybe it could be like maybe meditation guru or whatever, like, but because that was the life that he grew up in, and that was the society and the reality. Different to hate people because they're not from your religions, actually.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
not from the same religion, so hate them. And it's all about that. And I hope that the show did, kind of like open the eyes of some people who maybe saw it, and they were like, okay, yeah, it's we are brainwashing for years to hate, for example, Arab people because A B C D E F G, or we are brainwashing to hate Jewish people, or whatever. And here in America, to hate black people, to hate people of color, to hate everybody that is not, that he or she, they're not Christian, or whatever. Like, I can go more and more and more and more. But
Yeah.
yeah.
What did anything like make you nervous about this part, frighten you about this part? I mean, it's a very intense role.
Yeah. So I had some fears, but I think that when I thought about it, and I understood that that's my mission, to show this kind of reality, to show this kind of person. I was like, and because I worked with those amazing creators, Joseph Sider, Chagai Levy, and Taufik Abuhel, I had no choice but dive so deep into this character and into this story. And then, yeah, and all those fears kind of like, disappeared, because that was my world, that was my life. I went to dialect coach to work on the stuttering, and I read about depression peers that actually, against anxiety and depression, that I think that I wasn't, or I went with my, with two more actors in the show. We went to actually yeshiva in Jerusalem, and I sat there, as we had the all costume of the Hasidic, of the Haredim, very Orthodox people, and we dressed up like them, and they sat in the yeshiva, and they was like, okay, what is going on here that I, aka Avishai, so resistant of, so want to escape from. And when I were diving deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper to this role, to this world, so kind of like the fears kind of disappeared, because I wasn't there anymore. I was focused.
How did you, I mean, I don't know where to go next. There's so many interesting things. Why did the audition process take so long? What was there multiple callbacks? Did you have to read with other actors? Did you have to pass muster with different people? Why was it such a long process?
So I think it was such a long process because it's such a sensitive project, and it's such a sensitive character, because he is a murderer, but he has, gentle and fragile soul. So I think to find the person, and to find the things inside the person, you know, uh, you know, inside and outside, that he needs to, to look like him, which it means, like, to look Sephardic, and to look Jewish, and to look Israeli, and etc., etc. And also, and also that he could, technically stutter, technically dive into those intimate worlds, and he could act it. So, and I understand there is a lot of, people are, putting money on this very sensitive, let's say not mainstream subject slash show. So they want to be sure that they're putting the hands of someone who can, who can give them results back.
Yeah.
So I basically I had audition, and then after 4 months, 4 months later, Joseph Cedar, the director, he reached out to my agent again, and he said like, okay, I want to meet with him again. And then I met him again, and then we just sat and talked about, about the subject, just like watched videos and documentaries, and the seventh episode, the reenactment. We actually, we watched the actual thing, the actual video of uh, of the real Avishai, which is not his name. We can't say his real name. And then, yeah, and then we met with more actors, and we saw the chemistry and tarari tarara tarara, something like that. And then, yeah, and then we got the approval. I got the approval from HBO, from all the people that, that I'm in. It was in January 1st, 2018. That's the way that I this year, and I will never forget this year.
Wow. Wow. Did you, I mean, you mentioned you went to a yeshiva to see what the atmosphere was like. Did you do anything else to prepare for the role, to prepare for the shooting?
Yeah. So yes, that's what I said. So yeah, we went to yeshiva, and me personally, I thought and learned on about this stream of Judaism, because I'm not I'm and say I'm a secular. I love the tradition, but I'm not practicing. I don't practice. Um, but yeah, so I read about, as I said, about the medicines for depression, for clinic depression, and I learned how to stutter, because I didn't know before that. I didn't know how to stutter. And actually, what was interesting that when I sat with I had meetings and meetings and meetings with the dialect coach, and I actually I didn't get it. I didn't get it. And then first day of shooting, and then it just happened.
Wow.
And I learned, and I studied the guitar for the scenes of the guitars, of the songs. And yeah, it was, and of course, something really amazing happened. And I don't know, like, shout out to HBO and Keshet International and the creators. It was barely like every scene that we shot, we had rehearsal on them. Like,
Wow.
we rehearsed every scene. We read, we
Wow.
wrote, we talked. The creators, they asked my opinion. So it was, the preparing was a whole process.
Wow, that's amazing. While you were shooting, I mean, again, this is a very, as I say, a very intense story, very intense part. What did you take it home with you at night? What happened when you weren't on the set?
Yeah. So actually, yeah, absolutely did. First of all, the whole, it sounds like cliche, but yeah. I that was the first time that I felt that I'm kind of really out of my out of my body, out of my mouth, and I took it with myself, and all my friends. I remember all my friends. They were like, "Listen, man, why are you stuttering? You're not stuttered. You never. We've been knowing you for years, and then you're going. You're coming to hangs, and you're like, how are you? And like, that's not you." And very interesting story actually that I have about it is that I was a soldier by this time, and because of I just like random random I don't know how to say it, sorry, like random decision, sorry, for random decision of the um, generals or whoever did it. I was selected to do a random polygraph test. Okay, I was selected to do random polygraph test as a soldier in the Israel Defense Forces. And then they're asking you some questions, and they repeat them. And one of the questions is like, have you ever done a severe criminal action, which it means like, murder, kidnapping, rape, breaking, like robbing, whatever. And they asked me this question among more questions. And then they said, the guy who did it was like, okay, Adam, you're free to go. You're good to go. Everything is fine. I just have to ask you something. I saw your brain when I asked you about the severe action, criminal action that if you ever done something like this, I saw your brain that I saw that you're like, yeah, you're saying the truth that you never done it, but I saw your brain going like like going crazy. Can you tell me? And the week before, that was on Sunday. The week before, Sunday to Thursday before, we did the whole sequence of killing, burning, killing, all of it. So when I said, so I said no, but in my brain, I saw the pictures of me, in there and choking and all of it. And then I was like, no, that's not me. It's not me. I did it, but it's not me. I did not. And yeah, that was, and yeah, and when I told it to Joseph, he was like, wow. He said that it was fascinating to hear.
That's crazy. That's crazy. What was it like? You worked, the series was directed by two people. What was that like? How did that play out, having two directors?
Three, actually.
Oh, three. That's right. That's right. Three.
Yeah, because Tawfiq directed all the Arab narrative, Joseph all the Jews narratives, and Chagai Levi directed the narrative of the psychotherapist.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So, listen, I think collaboration, it's an amazing, beautiful thing that I love to do, in my own life, when I'm creating, I love to collaborate. And with people that you have, such an energy and mindfulness to collaborate with, it's blessed. And Chagai, Tawfiq, and Joseph, three of them, sorry, I had such a desire and honor to work with, and they learned so much. As I said, I was a kid. I was 19, 20 years old when I shot it. So that was my kind of like acting school. No, kind of. That was my acting school. That I learned so many things about cinema, about acting, about cinematography, so that every person who came to the set and gave us some of her knowledge, that it was blessed. It was amazing.
That sounds great. And you said it lasted a long time, close to a year, the shooting. What was that like?
So yeah, that I think that's really in alignment with the whole behave of the project, if you can call it like that. Like, we had no choice but going deep and hard inside this project, inside this subject. And I think that that this year, 2018, for me, will ever be our boys year. And I think it was amazing. It was really, really amazing, because kind of like, it gave us the time, like, in Israel, in Hebrew and Arabic, we say yalla. Yalla, it means like, let's go. Okay, hurry up. Yalla, 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 yalla. And it's something that you can hear all the time.
Yeah.
And in this project, we could film a scene for 9 hours. So,
Wow.
and it's something really rare. So I was really, and more than that, I love being on set. I love to act. So, as more as I can, like more shooting days, okay, and we did some breaks, but then every time that they said, okay, now we're doing another session. When we did another session, of course I was stressed but stressed, I think, me and my girlfriend just talked about it, that, in every emotional feeling you have it's like a coin, and then you have stress here, but you have enthusiasm and excitement here, and you just need to, yeah, you just need to flip the coin, and then it's there. So that's what I try to do.
Wow. One of the scenes that I remember most, that I thought it was just a particular favorite of mine, you play opposite one of the top Israeli actors, Lior Ashkenazi.
Yeah.
The courtroom scene, he plays the Israeli prosecutor, and that's a very, very, very kind of really intense scene.
Yeah.
Talk about that. What was it like working with him? He's such an accomplished veteran actor, and what the whole scene was like.
Yeah, so basically, Leo Ashkenazi is like my uncle. He is my father. They are best friends. So he came and brought shawarma to my mother when I was born, in like couple hours after I was born. So that he is my family. So for me, it was kind of like an amazing opportunity to work with him, because it was to kind of work like my father, my uncle. And of course, I'm a huge fan of his work in so many incredible pieces of art, as you know, Foxtrot or Footnote of Joseph, and etc., etc. And all this sequence in the court, for me, like my testimony and the scene with Leor, and when they said that the results about if we're, that we are guilty, all this sequence we shot in the last day of shooting,
Oh my God.
after the
Wow.
year. So for me, I was overwhelmed anyway, and I was excited anyway to work with Leo. And I think, he's such an amazing actor. And so, yeah, I think the energy that had between us, it was just, again, collaboration and creative energy, power, and he gave me everything that he sensed that I need to have, and of course the same for him. And we just, it was very interesting, because in this actual scene, I don't really have a lot of lines. I have like 2, 3, like something like "אני לא רצחתי," which means like I didn't murder, I didn't, like kind of like, trying to say something. And it was a lot of like eyes work, and and just energy, as I said. And yeah, that was an amazing moment in the shooting.
Wow. I know, from what I've read in Israel, when the series came out, the reaction was quite strong.
Mhm.
I know that Prime Minister Netanyahu was not happy. What was all that, tell people what happened, and what was all that like to experience?
So yeah, that was, oh, that's an interesting question, because in one hand, I really think that every human being in the world has the right to say whatever they think about everything. You know, I just think when people said, whoever see Joseph Sider, Tawfiq Abu El, Chagai Levi, the creators of the show, needs to cut their head off. I think when violence is around, that's not something that I would support. And I felt that a lot of, from Netanyahu, of course, is the prime minister. So all those things were, the things that he said, they were way more, settled down and officially, and kind of, but yeah, he actually is, from, the people who don't know, he said he called all Israel to do not watch the show. And of course, Israel is when someone said, don't do that, everybody is doing it. and actually, he just started his 35th, our 35th government yesterday. So I don't think he has a lot of time, but I would love to hear his opinion, if he would, because he released this announcement after one episode, I think. one or two. Yeah, the two first episodes. So I would love to hear his opinion, as you know, as a person who lives in this complicated country for, I don't know, how old is he, 60, 70
Yeah.
years old. So I would love to hear his opinion, because it is a complex, complicated, interesting subject. And I don't think there is one, I don't think there is one truth in general, but especially in this subject that it's so, you know, it's so urgent and present in our reality, in the Israeli Palestinian reality life. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you talked about how while you were filming this stayed with you. Now it is a little bit of time after. Is this role, is this series, is this still with you? Is this still something you think about, you deal with?
Yeah, absolutely yes. And my first big role. And so that's something, you know, this project will be with me forever. And as this, you know, as kind of like I lost my virginity with this project, with those people. So yeah, I think it will ever, I will never forget this time and this role and this project, and it will be really, really deep inside my heart forever. And more than that, I just talked with my girlfriend about it, that this this complex, interesting, complicated, unfortunate reality, that is our life. That all the Israeli Palestinians, we were born in this uh, pressure cooker, right? That's how we say it. This pressure
Yes, yes.
cooker, and it's like everything from everything. When I was 2 years old, my mother took me to the mall to shop. And when we left the mall, Dizengoff Center in Tel Aviv, we left the mall. 3 minutes later, we're still nearby. My mother looked around, looked behind, and the mall was bombed.
Wow.
It was, you know, seconds. It was minutes. And you know, I remember I was 15 years old. I took the bus to one of my friends in Tel Aviv, and then I just heard and you know, alarm, you know, because there are rockets that did their way to Tel Aviv, and I was 15. I didn't know what to do, and 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 yeah, and I think way, you know, way more before that, before I was born, my father, when he was my age, when he was 20, his father got murdered by an Arab person. So I think this blood circle is something that is
Wow.
ingrained inside me, inside everybody in Israel, Palestine. And I think, yeah, and for me that was an incredible opportunity to it's incredible. Yeah, it's an incredible opportunity to show America and the world, hey, there is a country. It's not a very big country, but look what's going on there. And kind of like putting a mirror that it's not always the you know, the nice and comfortable mirror to look at, but this story happened 96 7 9% from what you saw on this show happened. And I think, again, we just watched When They See Us on Netflix. Again, it's very uncomfortable, beautiful masterpiece of art. But and it's not, yes, when you're watching it, when you're watching When They See Us, when you're watching our boys, you're not having a good time, but you're taking part of something that it's so important, and you observed, and you take inside you this reality that it's unfortunate, and it's sorry, really sorry about my language, sorry, don't think I have a lot of vocabulary to say that, but fucked up
Yeah, yeah,
reality that's that it's but this is the reality.
yeah,
Even if it's nice and it's great and it's fun to see, and even if it's not.
yeah, yeah. No, it's, as you say, it's an exceptional piece of work. It's an exceptional series. Your work in it is extraordinary. When, you know, I'm so happy to have the chance to talk to you.
Thank
And
you.
really, thank you so much. And, you know, I wish you all the best in what comes next.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you.